What's up, team? Sean from Best to Live, and I'm hitting you with our 13th week update in the 100K Options Challenge. And it was a pretty good week, and some interesting things happened. And this one's going to be pretty interesting, I think. It's going to be also not that long. But first and foremost, before I say a word, I just want to say a huge thank you to the community. We just passed 3,000 subscribers. If you notice, I never ask to subscribe or to like the videos or anything like that. I don't want you to feel like you owe me anything for watching a video that I enjoy doing. That's why I don't ask. So folks on their own have gone ahead and done that. I really appreciate it. I'm actually flabbergasted, to be totally frank with you. I didn't think ever I would see a number like that, considering, I just me talking on a camera. So I really, really appreciate that. It says a lot. And I'm going to jump right in and not waste any time as always. So let me share my screen here and talk through what's going on here. Because it was another pretty good week, honestly. So first and foremost, ignore this bottom section. I'm going to talk about this, which I don't normally do, but I'm going to talk about it in a second. So for the 13th week, which is the week starting March 28th, I made 2 trades. In both cases, I sold puts. The first was for TQQQ, which is a leveraged QQQ. Again, a very risky move, but one I like to play quite often. And what I just actually sold 3 of them. What I was looking at was the way the overall price trends were starting to bump and the way some of the brief moving averages were moving. I felt pretty confident at the time that I bought it that we were going to see really good movement throughout the week to keep us above a certain perspective here. So luckily, I was correct here. So I just want to call this out. I had sold at a $56 rate. When I had sold, it was at $57.44. There's a ton of volatility at the time, so I got a pretty good price on it. I actually made $429 in total premium on this one particular put. Now, as you can see here, right, I was basically looking at the overall trends and how they were moving back towards a less negative purview. I've been pretty tight and pretty good on these using really basic trend analysis and looking at some really basic TA and then also tying it back to news. We're talking stuff that's not hard to do, high degree of discretion, but with a little bit of TA as an underpinning as well. The very next day, I took a look at Square again, which, as you know, I've played Square a few times throughout this. And I saw some really, really fat premiums on Square. Now, I paid a little bit of a price on this one, but I want to talk through why I don't care and why I still feel good about it. So Square, same kind of play. I ended up selling 3 puts here. And what I did is, at the time, I had called for $140 execution strike price, right? Now, you notice here I didn't list what I paid. All 3 that I had entered limits, and all 3 had executed at different prices. So I just want to call it out. Normally, I try to be very tight, make sure they go at the same time. Square was very volatile. I'm going to tell you why in a second. But I thought I saw some great premiums, and I did. I was actually able to get in at a total premium on those 3 positions of $1,215. So that was an awesome amount here with what I felt was really perceived minimal risk. I want to talk about the details here, but before I do, I'm going to share the front screen here. So again, we're going to scroll on down here, right? So this was actually this one here, right? Ignore this. I will talk to it in a second. So against a $650 goal of what I was forecasting, I actually came in almost $1,000 over. That $6 is kicking me in the rear end right now, but came in at 1,644, which gives me, again, a lot of breathing room towards the back half of this, where the numbers really start to escalate and get tougher. What I also want to call out here for those who aren't following along is the beauty of this process of keeping the money in is I've now totaled, I'm going to include what I've done this week already, I'm at a profit of $8,177. Now, the beauty of this is, from a pure selling puts perspective, this allows me to sell a lot of 100 up to an $81.77 price stock, right? So think about that for a second, right? This is now an entire 8,100, 8,200 plus from what I started with that I can use to keep myself safe when I'm selling these puts, right? So this opens up the opportunity to move into some bigger trades. This means maybe more of the smaller trades. This means some different position sizing. It also means more of a buffer and more risk depression as part of this, or risk delineation, I suppose, into other areas. So I want to call that out, that like this is the goal, is as we get further and further here, we have more and more to work with, which helps us to make bigger and better trades with more safety built in. So I just want to call that out. Now, the reason I wanted to show you all this before I talked about it was, on Square, I had actually done a video on some recent news. Square got a price upgrade, and the upgrade was pretty significant. It was from Mizuho Bank, which basically said they were going to maintain a buy, and they want to bump the price from 190 up to 215. Now, that's a big deal, not in a sense because of the $25 change in price. That, to me, isn't a big deal, really, but we're getting over that $200 mark again. So I already have a really large position in Square. It's actually maybe my one or two single largest positions in my whole portfolio. Because of actually this. Um, so let me even back up. Actually, I should have started here, I suppose. So I felt good about this trade because of the size premium. So what happened was I ended up getting assigned Square, but even with the assignment, the premium was so big I was still in the profit. And now today, the price has gone way up and over even what I was calling for. So I'm now several thousand up just on the shares that I own now, let alone the premium that I already paid at 12.15. So I haven't decided if I want to write some calls against this or hold it for a little bit and see where we end up. But either way, because of this, my DCA came down even more. I'm at a really good break even on the entire portfolio position as it stands. So this is why it's important that when you do things like selling puts, you have back end options, right? I didn't mind holding it, helped to DCA my portfolio from a Square perspective. I can write calls against us for pretty big numbers, especially with the uptrend. And we also know analysts are getting more and more bullish here as well. So all that to say, this, although it was assigned, felt like a win for me on multiple fronts. And then today, seeing the price explode, even more so. Now, one thing I don't normally do in these calls is I normally haven't started executing on the next week. So this is a little bit of a preview to see what I'm thinking about. And I haven't filled in my reasons yet because I haven't had a chance to. All of this happened pretty quick just within the past couple of hours here. But in a nutshell, I saw an opportunity to jump into TQQQ again here. This time at obviously a much different price than what we saw the week before, right? We were at a 56 strike, now I'm at a 60.50. But the associated is, we saw a bit of an increase in the current share price. So at a 60.84, I'm not giving myself much room here because I still feel really bullish about where the market is. And I don't mind if I end up getting assigned this right now. I've still got till Friday for it to move a different direction as well. Excuse me. So 3 positions in TQQ for this current week, ended up at 465 total. And then Uber, I'm going to be doing a video with Chris Patel, who has another channel on YouTube. We're going to be talking about Uber quite a bit. I don't know for sure what the long or short term looks like here for these guys, but I have, as probably some of you will remember, I've been a pretty regular trader here of options in and around Uber, and it's been a while. So I want to jump back in and sort of just have a little skin in the game before he and I talked about Uber and what's going on here. So same kind of play here, right? I picked up 5 positions because we're starting to expand our position size slightly at a 36.58 current price on a 36.50 put. Again, it's close, but that's okay. And we got a premium of $340 here. I'm also getting some feedback on the mic, so hopefully that's not hitting you guys on your end. So because of this so far, although I'm up against now this current week of 700, I'm already at 805. And I may make 1 or 2 small put sales. I'm not sure. And I might possibly sell a call against some of those Square positions. So we're either going to end the week by doing nothing else for the rest of the week here at 105 over, or I might add a little bit more on just to create a buffer if I feel good about it. But that'll be likely more towards Friday where I can push some of that risk off the table. So that's it. I don't have a big one for you today. I wanted to cover this stuff. I didn't get to do it over the weekend. I really appreciate watching. I really appreciate the community. And, please let me know if you want me to go deeper on some of this, more descriptive, less descriptive, quicker updates. I'm open to whatever. And then additionally, I got a really nice comment over the weekend that someone had wished there was essentially a channel that was doing more on the commercial real estate front from a more thought out process, much longer video that you could watch over several sittings or even break it up into several. So I'm starting to frame out what that would look like, how I want to design that. And that's something I'm going to be working on as well. That's a much bigger project. It's going to take me a lot of time to do it, but I'm definitely going to do that and want to start sharing some of those insights as well, because I think the goal is when you start doing really well with the options selling, maybe you want to start to take some of that and put into real estate or move into bigger things or move into more complex types of things, right? This is the way a lot of folks start to really build their wealth over time. And I'm not talking about your standard, the right way to do this is hold for 40 years, put in a 401k, tax advantage, right? All those great things you should be doing. But I'm more thinking in terms of hey, I want to really go something big near term. I want to really make it happen. Well, let's start rolling some of these profits in the options, for example, and maybe start learning, well, what could I do next? How can I leverage those into getting to some bigger real estate deals and leverage those real estate deals to get into bigger deals and et cetera, et cetera. So off topic, apologies. That's it. Quick video. Thanks so much for watching as always, team. And again, honestly, I'm so humbled. 3,000 folks follow my YouTube channel. We're just about to break 25,000 on Facebook. I can't believe that. That's wild. And all the people who send me messages with the questions and everything else, I so appreciate it, team. So with that said, really appreciate everybody. Thanks so much. And we'll talk soon. Have a good one.